I'm turning 25 next month, and I've learned a lot in my quarter century of life. For one, I'm very thankful I'm alive. And I'm very appreciative of where I am today because transparently, there was a time when I didn't think I'd be able to cope. Well, for one, I was a military kid and I moved 10 times throughout my childhood, which means moving 10 times in 17 years. Oh, this was all while enduring domestic violence and emotional neglect in the home. Let's layer that with religious trauma in the household. This Catholic military strict thing was so much so that my access to technology was limited and my privacy using that technology was also infringed upon. I paid my way through college after having earned various scholarships because I pushed myself and was a high functioning individual in high school, and I worked 3 jobs as a student in college to pay my tuition. I was a resident advisor, I was a barista, and I was a secretary at a career counseling office. Let's see, I spent 3 years of college undiagnosed and unmedicated for type 1 bipolar disorder, and then I had to pay the repercussions and consequences in the years following for all of my manic actions. But that's all just what you've seen or heard. This is where I am now. Literally. Oh, I'm not omniscient and I'm not the poster child for perfection. But I have seen a few things up and down the halls of a psych hospital. No joke, they really do give you grippy socks. And it's like, bro, I can't wear shoes. But my feet get cold walking around on the cold floor. So I have no choice but to wear the damn grippy socks, completely negating the whole intent of wearing socks so you can slide down the hallways. You know, they say that children who are traumatized over time relate to characters in nonfiction stories, especially because of the strength that is demonstrated by these fantasy characters when faced with adversity. It's no wonder I still feel the need to live like a main character in a movie, so I know you've obviously endured trauma, or maybe you're just plagued by mistakes you've made in the past. Well, I wanted to pass on some coping skills and life advice that I figure might help you right now. Yeah, that voice that speaks to you all the time in your head telling you you're less than this, you're not enough, you're not good for this position, you're not a worthy this, you're not a worthy that. That's your inner saboteur. You are stronger than that inner voice. You're stronger than your inner saboteur. Why? Well, because they're not the ones that have endured every single moment of your life. They evolve over time. It's an inner voice that's constantly criticizing you and negating your own resilience, negating the fact that you're the one that has endured everything in your life. You're the one that's been with yourself every day since you've been born. No one else has been with you every second besides you. Who are you to say that this inner voice is stronger than that person, than you who has walked in the footsteps, than you who has lifted those weights, carried those burdens, shouldered every single piece of stress in your life and still carried through, gotten through the adversity? You have to believe in your ability to overcome obstacles because you've done it in the past. I mean, once you believe in yourself, it's a lot easier to reflect on your past with humor. Humor has a unique way of providing a fresh perspective. So, it's important to find humor in hard times. Even in the darkest times, finding a reason to laugh can be a powerful tool for coping and pushing the demons out of your head. Once you laugh about a situation, you've accepted the outcome. And it's a lot easier to reflect on it with positivity and change and growth, recognizing that you've developed and become something anew. For example, when I was in the psych hospital, I reflect on this moment with fondness and humor because all I wanted to do was share my talents with the world. I gathered a small crowd of 2 people, my hallmate and my neighbor, who was in the room adjacent to me, and attracted their ears because I was singing through my entire musical theater audition book of Disney songs and Golden Age Broadway songs from before the 1950s, you know, modern age contemporary songs, pop rock, pop opera, everything from A to Z, Alpha to Omega. I was singing it. The doctors walked down the hallway hearing me recite these tunes, and they go, "Are you okay?" I said,
Never been better.
I reflect on that moment because the day after, they let me sit through an interview and talk my way through escaping, getting out of my admission early. So I unadmitted myself from this voluntary admission and was allowed to leave the psych hospital, still severely manic. That shit's funny as fuck. Finding humor in the dark times has a goal, and that goal is to value yourself. Find yourself worthy, think you are enough, know that you matter, self-care is important, and you are worth it. No one else cares about you as much as you think about yourself. I promise. I promise. I'll say it again. No one else cares as much about you as you think about yourself. This might sound harsh, but it's actually empowering. It means that your well-being is in your hands and your hands alone. You have to prioritize self-care or you will not make it. You will not have balance. You have the power to make choices that are best for you. Treat yourself. But don't treat yourself so much that you spend $15,000 in 1 week after laundering $30,000. Yep, that's what I did when I was severely manic. I had escaped from the psych hospital, remember? Consequently, had befriended someone on Instagram after posting 17 nudes in one night. They swindled me by sending me some checks. I deposited them, sent a certain amount back, ended up spending that remainder of $15,000 on camping gear, corsets, coke, you know, the basics. But I can't reflect on that with negativity or with shame or with guilt or even embarrassment. I have to embrace every mistake, every moment of life with joy, because it's important to let go of the small stuff and focus on what matters. Everything is temporary. This video, you've just spent X amount of minutes watching. You will never get those minutes back. And yet we've spent this moment together to learn about how to find balance in our lives, to nourish our minds. I've made so many mistakes. It's not even funny. You can watch any of my previous videos where I admit manic mistakes, manic moments, manic mishaps, manic monstrosities. But I can't dwell on that. I can't remember every moment as if it happened yesterday, as if people are thinking about it fresh in their mind, as fresh as it is in mine. You know what I mean? Like, all these points tie together where no one is thinking about you as much as you're thinking about yourself. So why not embrace every single thing you've done as if it's funny in the past? You may have hurt people. You may have endured financial and legal consequences that ruined your life, ruined your reputation. But that was gonna happen anyways. Why not laugh about it? Why not embrace what you've done as a stepping stone for your development? Why not see that every mistake was trial and error to get you to where you are now? You're breathing, you're able to watch this video or at least listen to it. Let's celebrate that. What I'm saying is that you are valuable. You are loved. And you are worthy of peace and happiness. Take it one day at a time and know that brighter days are ahead. I love you. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.